Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll ask everyone to take their seats. We're going to begin in just a minute.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Try it with me. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Sing with us. Just bring it as we celebrate this weekend of Jack's bar mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru
We're celebrating Jack's bar mitzvah. For those of you joining us by live stream, we can feel your presence in the sanctuary, and we're so happy to have you with us to bring in Shabbat as well. For everyone who's in the sanctuary, we appreciate that you're keeping your masks on as per the guidance of our COVID committee. We're all trying to be safe. And we are in, as Chazan Mimi said, the lighter red book you have there, the Siddur Lev Shalem. We're on page 23. Lecha Dodi will do the first paragraph. Then we'll turn to page 25 for the last paragraph. And when we get to that last paragraph,
Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila yai lai ya la 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 lai lecha dodi ya la 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 lai likrat kala zola pnei Shabbat nekabela.
we ask you to remain standing on page 39a, Barhu. We ask ourselves, are we awake? Are we prepared? Are we ready for prayer? Page 39a.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, ya la la. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Le'olam. Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah umitzvot, ukim umishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu v'shokbeinu uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael.
All right, we're going to kick off the bar mitzvah weekend now. All right, yeah, he's ready. Look at him, he's so ready. Jack is going to lead us now in the Shema. We're on page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bevechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue quietly at the top of page 42. Jack's going to continue towards the bottom of page 42 with Lema'an Tizkeru.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Excellent job, Jack. You can go and have a seat right up there because we'll be with you again in just a moment. We are going to continue on page 44, Micha Mocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei fele.
We turn to page 45, Hashkivenu.
So this prayer is a prayer of protection and a prayer of safety, and we certainly pray for that for all those throughout the world who aren't feeling safe, and sometimes during the pandemic, which is not the way it was so much better, but feeling a sense of safety and security and having God's wings covering us. So if you know this melody, which I hope you do, by Craig Taubman, I hope that you'll sing out, because there might be a time when I don't sing and just ask you to. Hint, hint, hint. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu, lechaim ushalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'ha'amidenu Malkei. Nu just your voices.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkei. All right, Jack, come back up here. We'll invite you all to rise. We're on page 46. Jack will lead us in Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
You may be seated. You can have a seat too. You know, Jack, not just leading the prayer, but dance moves too up here. I mean, I hope you're all taking a cue from Jack that, like, it's okay to dance during our service. We love it. You can have a seat. So if we could see a search history, a full list of everything someone has searched on the internet and how often that they've searched certain phrases or questions, what do you think it would tell us about that person? Like, what could we learn about a person from seeing their full search history? You can raise your hand if you have. You're all like, oh my God, did you see mine? Like, but what would we learn about someone? Yeah. Okay, what they did in their life, but maybe they were Googling kind of the different activities that they were doing in their life. Perfect. Yeah, what else? Love it. So you would find out someone's interests. Like, we know Jack loves his video games, and so if you looked at Jack's search history, it might be about a lot of video games. Okay, what else? What else could we learn about someone from looking at their search history? What else could we find out? Yeah? Maybe there are pictures. Maybe they were doing an image search about what they've done. Awesome. Any other possibilities of what you could learn about someone? Yeah, I think you... Right, how does someone express themselves? Are they asking lots of questions? Are they just typing in statements? Definitely. What else? Totally. Right, not just what they search, but even what they post on social media. Okay. So obviously there are a lot of things that you could learn about someone if you could see their search history. And don't worry, we have not seen any of your search histories here, so you're all safe. But I think one of the most significant things we can find out is what that person worries about the most. Like, what gets them anxious? Sometimes I think when I quickly open up my phone or my computer and type something into Google, it's because I've started to worry about something. Like I type in maybe, how long does chicken last in the refrigerator? Or will leather shoes get ruined in the rain? Or, what should I do if there's a bad smell coming from the oven? Like things that we get worried about, we get nervous about them. Of course, these days, sometimes those questions are, how long after a COVID exposure should I go get a PCR test? Or how do I know if this symptom I'm having is COVID or if it's just a cold or allergies? Right? These are the things that are on our mind. I think sometimes we search from a place of worrying, or at the very least thinking a lot about something, like a lot of you said. What do you do in your day-to-day life? The things you're thinking about or worrying about. So I teach this weekly Talmud class every Friday, and we've been studying the Talmudic discussions about dreams and dream interpretation. And you have to understand the Talmud contains mostly legal material. It's lots of laws, what you can and can't do on Shabbat, and how to recite prayers, how to observe holidays. And then there are little stories sprinkled in. So given the legalistic nature of the Talmud, you really would think that any attention that's paid to dreaming would be minimal. Or you can't really make laws about dreams. But actually, the rabbis go on for pages and pages and pages discussing what dreams mean. Are they a prediction of the future? Are they a reflection of our past? Are they an indication of what kind of person we are? And then there are pages and pages and pages about each possible symbol in a dream. What does it mean if you saw water? What does it mean if you saw a bird? And what each symbol represents. So my Talmud class has had a lot of fun discussing each one of these dreams and symbols and their interpretations. But really what has been the most interesting about our discussions is when we ask ourselves the question, why is this in the Talmud? Why did the rabbis spend so much time talking about dreams and trying to figure out what their dreams meant? And the answer that we've come to as a class is that it's something that caused them some anxiety. They were so good at regulating every area of life. They knew what to do from when you wake up in the morning to when you went to sleep at night. But as soon as they went to sleep, they saw images in their head that they couldn't control, and they couldn't create laws about them. And that freaked them out. So they turned to each other and discussed them. They brought in Torah verses and symbols and their own life experience. They tried to make sense of something that they really couldn't understand. And I think we have to ask ourselves that exact same question about this week's Parsha, Mitzorah. Why is it here? Why in this relatively short document called the Torah is so much space dedicated to discussing what happens when someone has a scaly skin disease? That's what Jack's going to talk about it tomorrow. This is the whole Parsha is about, and last week's Parsha too. How to diagnose it, how to quarantine, things that are a little bit familiar to us. What should happen with their home and their belongings, why they might have gotten this disease. There's so much discussion. And I think the answer is the same reason why the rabbis spend so much time discussing dream interpretation in the Talmud. And the same reason why we go to Google whenever we need to figure out whether our leftover chicken is still good or whether we're sick. It worried them. It occupied a lot of space in their mind. Think about it. All of a sudden, someone starts getting scaly patches on their skin, and they have no idea why. And the next thing you know, their spouse has those patches too, and then it's spreading through a community. We know that feeling all too well, right? Like the anxiety of a disease spreading. Remember how we felt in March of 2020 when we didn't even fully know what COVID was? We didn't really know how it spread. We didn't really know what was a symptom and what wasn't a symptom, and we didn't have an accessible and reliable way to test for it. So people felt panicked. And people would Google their questions or, maybe type them in on WebMD and try to figure out what was going on. Maybe even just texting their friends to see if anyone had more information, even theories that they could go by. I imagine that sense of panic is what the Israelites felt when they first experienced sara'at, this scaly skin disease. But they couldn't go to WebMD, and they couldn't Google their questions. So they came up with all kinds of rules and treatments and diagnostic methods and quarantine regulations on their own. And the result is this section of the Torah, part of which we're reading this week. So what do we learn from looking at the biblical Israelites' search history, so to speak? We learn that they were just like us, that they were living in a world that sometimes confused them, that they were trying desperately to explain the unexplainable, and they were sometimes feeling anxious about it along the way. We are going to continue now with Chatzi Kaddish. We are on page 46 in the middle of the page.
So there's a little nigun, there's a little melody that goes with this. If you haven't heard, this is not the traditional version, but it's the one we often do at this fusion service. And so I hope you'll open your mind to a newer melody. Lie, 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 lie. Yid Gadav, Yid Kadash, Shemay. V'yid hadar, v'yid taleh, v'yid halal shemer kudesha, richu le'elah min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'imeru, amen. Ya Elai, 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 Elai.
We invite you to rise as we take some time for the silent Amidah, which begins on page 47 and continues through page 52. You can take this time for personal reflection using the Hebrew or the English or whatever prayers are in your heart, but we'll start out loud together with the first 6 words.
Ana na 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 Adonai. Ana na 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 Svatai tiftach. Ana na 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 Ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ana ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bim Ramav. Oh, say shalom. Bim Ramav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu.
We're going to take a minute now and say a prayer for those who are in need of healing. We know that some of you here in person, some joining us by live stream, may be in need of healing. Those in our community and in the broader world, we're thinking of those in Ukraine as well who could use so much healing. And we're sending our prayers to them as we join together in Rifa'enu.
Rifa'enu Adonai v'nei Rapha. God, only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei Cholei Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shechinahu, restores our loved ones, heal our people speedily in our day, and let us say Amen.
We'll invite everyone to rise. We are on page 55, and Jack is going to lead us in Kiddush, so you can grab that glass of grape juice there.
Not wine.
It's not wine, we promise.
It's not wine. I don't drink and I don't drive.
Thank God.
All right.
Page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho ve'avarat hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemika'e kodesh zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu b'chata eltanu kidashta mikol
right, we'll give Jack just a minute to put that down. We're turning to page 56. You can stay right there by the microphone, but face the ark. There you go. Perfect.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leyotzei bereshit, shelo asanu yeha'aratzon, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, אשר יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכיננתו זו בגלי מרומי. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום להשב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, השמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לאמר, והיה למלך כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Everyone who's joined us on the bima here may be seated.
All right, Luke
Jack.
and Penny.
Jack, you can go ahead and put a mask on and be seated as well. That's all right. Everyone can be seated. We'll just take a minute there.
But don't worry, Penny, you'll have more time for Shabbat dancing in a couple
We
minutes.
encourage the dancing. All right, we're going to have to. All right.
That's okay. She can just let her stay. That's fine.
Okay. As we're, oh gosh, okay. As we are approaching the moment, we're approaching the moment for Mourner's Kaddish. So we are lovingly remembering the following yahrzeits: Max Amhowitz, Harold Baker, Mary Barish, Arthur Becker, Audrey Bone, Hannah Cole, Rose Dubin, Sarah Felsen, Jeanette Gertler, Flo Greenberg, Larry Gruda, Sophia Harris, David Howard, Elsie Hyman, Alice Klein, Isaac Kurtzman, Stan Lazar, Irvin Jack Levin, Albert Livingston, Nathan Lichtman, Julius Lubin, Dr. Robert Marcus, Sadie Nakbar, Lucille Needleman, Nandor Newman, Joseph Pflug, Manfred Rosenfeld, Maurice Rosenson, Lillian Rubin, Toby Schriftman, Jules Schwartz, Maxine Seligman, Alan Schuham, Harry Sims, Walter Steele, Betty Welsh, Catherine Wallace, and Robert Yellen. We're also mindful of the recent passing of Barry Berkson, brother of Michael Berkson, and Jos Lieberman, father of Rebecca Lasko, and we're thinking about those two families. For anyone who is in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, or if you have need or desire to recite Mourner's Kaddish, we invite you to rise and join with me in the words on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma d'ivra kirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe Shmei Rabba Mivarach Leolam Ulamei Amaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shmei D'kudsha Brichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. We have a few announcements for you this evening. First of all, we want to welcome you, everyone who's here in person and on live stream. Tomorrow morning, you can start your Shabbat morning at 9 a.m. with a BLT. That's right, Rabbi Vogel will be teaching breakfast, learning, and Torah on Zoom, so you can visit Aliyah Live for the link. Of course, we expect you to join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as we celebrate the bar mitzvah of Jack Simpson at our Shabbat morning services right here in our sanctuary. Mazel tov to Jack and the entire family. Passover begins next Friday evening, so we'll be meeting online for an Erev Passover Zoom minyan at 5:30. Please visit our website homepage for a complete service schedule for all of Passover and the link to sell your chametz before 8 a.m. on April 15th. That's the deadline. Next Saturday at 10 a.m., we'll be here in our sanctuary for first day Passover and Shabbat morning services. There are always opportunities to be a part of Temple Aliyah, from our Shabbat services to weekly study with each of our rabbis and the many social action and outreach activities through Community of Caring. If you'd like to join us in making meaning and making a difference, please visit our website for more information at templealiyah.org. Thank you for being a part of Aliyah's story, and thank you for making Aliyah a part of yours. We will conclude now with Adon Olam on page 211.
So it is the month of Nisan, and as Rabbi Golko said, Passover is 1 week from today. And so this melody you might remember from your seders to Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu hoveh v'hu yiyeh v'tifara v'hu echad ve'ein sheni lahamshilo lahachmira v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamizra v'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzur chevli v'yetzara v'hu nisi umanosli v'nat kosi b'yom ekra v'yado afkid ruchi v'ed ishan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li v'lo ira.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Buen Shabbat, good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov.
I think there's some food in one of the other rooms.
you want to do it? Everybody, thank you for coming. There is an oneg 2 doors down that way. If you head out, you will have some yummy treats for the kids.
And we all know what oneg means, dessert.
I'm a